Hi, how are you today? Good, good. Okay. Ready to read some more of Aesop's Fables? Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we're going to read today. Okay. All right. Well, here we go. Oh, this is a fun story. Today we are going to read The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse. All right, let's go. A country mouse and her town mouse guest sat down to dinner at the edge of a plowed field. The country mouse gnawed on a wheat seed. "Dig in," she said, offering her friend a clod-covered root. The town mouse brushed dust from his whiskers and turned up his nose. "Excuse me, cousin, but this is ant food. Let's blow this hayseed stand and get a real meal." He grabbed his friend's hand. "To town and a taste of the sweet life." After a long walk, the pair finally skinnied under Town Mouse's back door. They crept down a dark hall to a grand dining room and shimmied to the top of a grand table where the remains of a grand feast lay before them. "Behold," said the Town Mouse, arms outstretched. "Mother of plenty!" exclaimed Country Mouse, swallowing hard. Loud barking interrupted their sprint for the chocolate cake. "What's that?" hissed Country Mouse. "Only the dogs of the house," replied Town Mouse. "Only!" cried Country Mouse. "Goodbye, cousin." "What, leaving so soon?" asked the other. "Yes," she replied. "Why munch on cake only to become a dog's dessert?" And the moral of this story is, better to munch on grain in safety than to nibble on cake in fear. All right. See here, they didn't have really fancy food, but they were safe. There was no wild dogs or cats or anything out in the country that was going to get them. But here, when they were in the city and they had this big fancy dinner with chocolate cake, then there were dogs in the house, maybe some cats or something that could have eaten them. So it's better to have a peaceful life with simple food and simple things than a crazy life with some fancy things. Okay. What else are we going to read? Oh, this is another good one. This story is called The Lion and the Mouse. A mouse skittered across a sleeping lion's nose. Before you could say, "Twitching whisker," clump, the lion covered the mouse with his paw. "You tickled my nose, you measly mouse. I think now you will tickle inside my tummy." The mouse peeked between the lion's claws. "Your Majesty, before you swallow me, consider this. If you let me go, I will never forget it. Perhaps one day I shall return the favor and save your life." At this the lion roared with laughter. "It would be a shame to eat such a witty little creature. Run free, funny fellow. I will sleep well tonight, knowing you are watching over me." The lion's loud laughter shook the ground beneath the mouse's feet as he scampered away. Later, the mouse heard a familiar roar. Not a roar of laughter, but a desperate roar for help. He ran to the lion, who was tangled in a hunter's net. The mouse quickly chewed through the cords with his small, sharp teeth, freeing the lion. "It's pretty funny, Your Majesty," chuckled the mouse, "to think that a tiny mouse could save the king of beasts." No act of mercy, however small, is ever wasted. That's the moral of the story. So this lion caught the mouse, and he thought, he let him go. He's like, "A mouse? How can a mouse save a lion?" Then later on, the lion was caught in a trap, and the mouse was able to set him free. So the lion was kind to the mouse and showed him mercy, and then the mouse remembered and saved the lion. Okay. read one more. This one is called The Caged Bird and the Bat. A small cage hung outside a window. Confined within the bars was a beautiful little songbird. The little bird had a beautiful singing voice. Twitter-tweet, twiddle-doodle, twitter-tweet. The sweet notes drifted softly into the darkness, for it was still night. When the sun began to peek over the distant rooftops, a strange thing happened. The bird fell silent. A bat, thinking this odd behavior for a bird, winged over and hung bat style from the cage bars. "Excuse me, sir, I don't mean to be rude, but why do you sing when other birds sleep?" "Ah, I have a very good reason," whispered the bird. "One bright day when I was singing from the branches, a bird catcher followed the sound of my voice and cast his net over me. Now I sing only under the cover of darkness." "A good strategy," said the smirking bat, "for a bird that flies free." And this says, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." That's the moral of the story. So the story is about an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So it's better to be safe before you get caught than to be cautious after you get caught. So when you say an ounce of prevention, that's just a little bit of prevention, is better than a pound of cure, a lot of cure. So it's easier to be safe and make smart choices before something bad happens than to try and make smart choices after the bad thing happens. Okay. Just think about that. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed these stories for today. We're going to read one more story for today. This one is called The Vain Jackdaw. Go. See the jackdaw here? That is a jackdaw. It's kind of like a crow. It's not a very fancy bird. "Listen up, everyone. This is Jupiter, supreme being, head honcho, ruler of all things. I have an important announcement for my fine, feathered citizens. Tomorrow, at my place, there will be a pageant where I, as judge, will select the most spectacular among you to be king of all birds." Upon hearing this news, the birds flocked to the community pool to bathe and preen their feathers, for they all wanted to look their best at the competition. The plain jackdaw was there with the rest and realized that with his ugly plumage he didn't have a prayer of capturing old Jupiter's attention. So he waited for the other birds to finish primping and go home to get their beauty rest. He then waited about collecting the most brilliant, fancy feathers the others had dropped, and fastened the plumes to his own drab body. So he got everybody else's feathers and stuck them on himself. The following day, each bird strutted before Jupiter's throne. After careful consideration, Jupiter was about to appoint the jackdaw king when the other contestants recognized the impostor and plucked the false feathers, exposing him as an ordinary jackdaw. And then the moral of this story is those who cheat lose in the end. So this bird, he was just a plain black bird. There wasn't anything fancy. And so he tried to take everybody else's feathers to make himself look more fancy and more special. So that was kind of cheating because he really wasn't. He was cheating. And so in the end, he got exposed and he was kind of laughed at and made fun of because he was a cheater. All right, so it's best to be honest about yourself and to be truthful than to try to pretend and cheat and stuff. All right, hope that you are having a great day and that you enjoyed these stories. And we'll read some more tomorrow. Bye.